Good morning, fifth graders. It is Thursday morning, May 14th, and I just want to start this introduction by thanking those individuals who turned in and shared their element project with me. We are very close to having 100% turn in. I think I'm at last check, about 8 or 9 students left. But out of 50 some students, that's a really good number, especially when we haven't had a chance to touch base and really figure out what's going on. I've got a couple others that I know are still working on it that I've had specific contact with. So hopefully I will get those from them shortly. If you have not shared your presentation with me, like I've mentioned in previous videos, like I've sent out in emails and Schoology messages, at least share something with me. Share that presentation. I can get you some points. And some is better than none, guys. We're just looking for a little bit of participation. It does not have to be perfect at this point. I would still like people to go back to yesterday's folder, so May 13th's folder in science, and participate in the discussion. List the things that you learned about your element. Go in there and list your 3 things. And so I can give you the opportunity to share your presentation with other students, and then they can see your presentation. Today's science activity will be to view others' presentations and then comment one thing about each of their presentations, one positive, obviously, thing about their presentations and our discussion board today. So just another discussion board today. There's no videos to watch, no lessons to do. We're just kind of wrapping up. This will be, or should be, the last day of our science presentations for these elements. And then we're going to move on to a new topic. So just be aware of that. So I've had a couple people ask me, and I guess I didn't really think about this because we haven't had to share presentations very much over the course of this year, that some of you don't know where to see the presentations that have been shared with you. So the next thing I'm going to talk about here, guys, is about how do you view someone else's presentation. Well, to do that, you can't go into Google Slides. You have to go into Google Drive. And so if you log into your Hastings Apps account, make sure you get into Google Drive. And Google Drive is that upside down triangle. I believe it's like green and yellow colored, but just it should say Google Drive next to it. And once you are in Google Drive, you're going to see a list of all the things you've created. It could be docs, sheets, slides, those kinds of things. But on the left-hand side, as you're looking at the screen, the left-hand side of that screen will have a list of my drive, shared drives, and shared with me. You want to click on the shared with me link, and that will show you everything that has been shared with you. So I'm hoping, guys, as I'm looking at my list here right now, I've told people who have turned in their presentations and shared them with me and participated in the discussion board yesterday. I've given them about 5 people to share that with. Now, that doesn't mean you're all going to have 5 presentations shared with you. In fact, most of us are looking at about 4 people that you should have had shared with you at this point. If you've only got 2 people who followed through and shared it with you, then look and comment on those 2 presentations. I'm not holding you accountable for what somebody else hasn't done. Obviously, I want to try to create as much communication with each other. I want to try to get us through this process. And hopefully get a chance to enjoy other people's presentations like we would have in a normal classroom setting. So just comment in the discussion board about the people's presentations who were shared with you. And you can keep checking back there throughout the course of the day. I've got no problem with that, and maybe adding to that discussion board later on. But whenever you go in to that shared with me folder, if there's only 2 presentations or 1 presentation shared with you, let us know that in the discussion board and say, hey, Kaylee shared her presentation with me and I thought it was awesome. I like this about it. Something like that, but make a comment about each of the presentations that was shared with you. So if you haven't shared your presentation with someone else, you're probably not going to see your presentation mentioned, or you're not going to see your name on there. I also haven't assigned many people to share presentations with people that haven't shared their presentation with me, because obviously I'm not sure if you're even at the point and ready to participate in that aspect of it. So the number one thing, guys, I can stress about science for this week, by the end of this weekend, by the beginning of next week, I will have added scores for the presentations that have been shared with me in the Element Project. And again, it is out of 20 points. And if you think about how science is being graded right now, that's about 2 weeks worth of work. So please make sure it gets shared with me. Otherwise, it's like you haven't done anything in science for 2 weeks, which is a long stretch and a lot of points at this point of the year. So please, bare minimum, by the end of this week, make sure you get your presentation shared with me. Even if it is not complete, I would like to have something next to your name so I can give you some points and not have it show up as a missing. It's one more thing that drags on later and later. Math today, guys, very straightforward, very similar to what we've been doing. And because it's really only a small amount of science today with a discussion board and viewing a couple presentations, I would expect that you guys are spending more time on math today. The Schoology stuff is your brain game, your video, your exit ticket. That stuff's very consistent, but I still, again, am having kind of a declining level of people doing their Think Central assignments and fewer people logging into Prodigy and attempting questions. And in all honesty, guys, those are supposed to be free points, especially the Prodigy side of things. I'm asking you to go play a game. I'm really, I'm hoping that you get to 50 questions. I'm hoping that you are finding some value in that. But in all honesty, guys, I'm just trying to get you the opportunity to show me that you're engaged and you're doing something and putting some problems in front of you that will hopefully benefit you next year and into the future. So please, please, please get on and do Think Central, Prodigy, so that I can give you credit and give you points for those problems. All right. You're going to have a blackout in the middle of this video, and you're going to see Mr. Mace dancing. All right. Got to turn my lights back on. So, same routine. There will not be, sorry, I was going to mention this at the beginning of the video. There will not be a Zoom meeting today, and I'll put that in our Schoology message reminder. I'm going to put that off till tomorrow, but in place of that, I will send out a message here in a little bit, and I believe I will try to put together a Kahoot that you guys can do, and it's going to be more about our class as a whole, not necessarily about a subject. But I know you guys enjoy Kahoots. I enjoy seeing the results and how you guys get excited about those Kahoots. So I'm going to try to put a Kahoot out there today, and I'll leave it open throughout the whole weekend. So if you don't get into it today or tomorrow, it'll be there Saturday or Sunday as well for something that you can do. And we'll probably go through the results of that Kahoot on Tuesday of next week when we have our class Zoom. I am still planning on having a class Zoom tomorrow on Friday, the 15th. I just don't feel like there's any reason with us having all this stuff and me kind of having to respond to people in science and answer a lot of questions probably today. I don't think it's really in our best interest for me to have a Zoom going on at that same time. It'll just be really difficult to do that. So we're going to push the Zoom off till Friday. So please make a mental note of that. I'll send out an email to your parents again tonight, reminding them of that. I don't know that I'll include the link in there. I might, but for sure the link will be in Schoology tomorrow morning for that Zoom meeting. That'll take place on Friday the 15th. Again, guys, please make sure you are making contact with me. Please make sure that you are doing the things that we're asking you to do. Thank you for doing the brain game. Everybody's doing that brain game, and that's a nice little review. Questions keep coming back up. But in all honesty, guys, make sure you're doing the exit ticket because that's really what's going in the grade book for math. So please take advantage of that. I've got a couple people who are just doing brain games right now, but I need those exit tickets to be done as well. And remember that you can do those things more than once. All right. Please check your answer on Think Central. I've got a couple people who are scoring very low on their Think Central assignments as well. And remember, you can check your answer before you submit. So please just remember the tools we're putting in front of you. We're not trying to overwork you. We're just trying to get you to be prepared for 6th grade next year, guys. All right. Have a great day. I look forward to hearing from as many of you as I can. And hopefully I see a bunch more presentations getting shared with me today and with your classmates.